Hello everyone, this is CGNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video. In today's video, you can tell by the title, you can tell by the face, we are here once again to talk about Giovanni van Bronckhorst's Rangers side, which means of course we're here to talk about a win. That's right people, our gaffer, our boss Giovanni has came in and won 2 of his opening 2 games, which if you look on paper, obviously that massive game versus Sparta Prague, yes it was maybe at home, but we know how difficult those teams can be and we had to win by the 2 goals, so the fact they'd done that was absolutely sensational. And then going into this game right here, away to the Tony Macaroni, one of the most difficult places to go. Just ask around how easy it is to get a win at the Tony Macaroni. You couldn't ask for pretty much harder opening 2 matches coming into the job they came in when the players were doing, the fan base was doing because of what happened on Sunday. But the Giovanni revolution just continues, people. What a performance that was. And it's what we all needed coming into this game. Our Sunday is well and truly saved. This feeling that we've got right now, contrasted what we felt last Sunday. A beautiful Sunday, Sunday saved, and we can all have a chippy the night without being very, very sad at that prospect. So for me, Giovanni, thank you son. I will munch every little bit of that. And speaking of munching every little bit of that, I don't really know where I'm going with this transition, but we'll get into the game. And I want to talk about some of the tweaks and the changes and everything that we actually saw in this game of football, because something that we talked about in the Sparta Prague video was those tweaks and those changes with only 2 days in the job. Well, now he has a couple more days under his belt, and for me, again, the tweaks and changes are very, very impressive, and you can slowly but surely see what he's trying to implement into this Rangers team, and that is to be attacking. That handbrake that I've sat here and said to you many, many times this season about how frustrated I've been, blah, blah, blah. That handbrake is gone, and you could see it with the starting 11 where Glenn Kamara was pretty much playing centre mid himself, and arfield and Aribo, Hadji, Kent, Morelos, they were all told to go forward, exploit space and get attacking, and I love that, people. And I think you could see this was maybe Glenn Kamara's best game. I know I said that in the Sparta Prague game, but for me, in terms of domination and getting involved and everything, I thought he was brilliant defensively. And you might have noticed, again, this is a wee bit boring and everything like that, but to me, it's interesting to actually talk about the fact that his positional change, rather than being up there as a 2, he was actually deeper, playing the anchor role, if you want. And every single time Livingston attacked, he dropped to make it a 5 at the back. And for me, that was interesting, and he really seemed to relish that. He was getting involved, he was buzzing about, he was actually tackling hard and slide challenging and everything like that. Again, he still doesn't ping it or have a shot or anything like that, but to me, it's a very, very promising start to life for Glenn Kamara under Giovanni van Bronckhorst, where a lot of people, when it was announced, were worrying that maybe Glenn would be leaving. Well, no, it looks like he is a mainstay in this Rangers team and vital for the entire way Gio wants to play. But it wasn't just Glenn Kamara who performed and had a different tweak and change, etc, etc. Let's go in and actually discuss the game of football then, shall we? Because once again, for back-to-back matches, we started positively, we started attacking, and we scored the first goal. That's right, after going 7 matches conceding first, we have now went back-to-back games scoring early, and just what a relief that is. And for me, it was a goal of just sheer brilliance, and again showing you Giovanni's style, because down the right hand side, Tavernier gets the ball, and instead of cutting in or anything like that, his first instinct is to match the run of Scotty Arfield, who was back in the starting 11, with again the handbrake off, just to go forward whenever you want. Scotty, just go forward, break the lines. We didn't always need to recycle and wait for fullbacks. No, soon as the ball went from Goldson to Tavernier, go back and look at it, Arfield sprints and beyond to help Alfredo Morelos with the back line, and it's just a mismatch all over the place. And Tavernier, full credit to the skipper, it is a wonderful, wonderful bond. So is the first touch by Scotty Arfield, by the way, and then the wee dink finish for me. I'm saluting all the way to the bank, and just seeing that man back in a Rangers shirt smiling and everything like that is brilliant. It's what we love to see. But something I didn't love to see, by the way, and I want someone to explain it to me. So if you're watching today's video, tell me why Scotty Arfield got booked for running about, celebrating, jumping up and celebrating on the park. He didn't go to the fans, he didn't jump in to the fans, he celebrated on the park, didn't take his shirt off, didn't celebrate in front of the opposition. No, he saluted, jumped up, went like that, and then he got booked. Somebody tell me what's going on, man. But aye, say what you want about this challenge, or this challenge. Why was Scotty Arfield booked for celebrating and being happy, people? Do we want to suck all the emotions out the game and just turn it into basically a chess match with VAR this, VAR that, no celebrations or anything? It's football, man. let's have the passion for the fans and the players. Something I want to talk about that I think is going to go underneath the radar and no one is going to mention is in the 10th minute of this game of football. It's a long ball out to, surprise, Livingston and long balls. But anyway, it goes down the left-hand side. It is a wonderful drilled cross. It beats Goldson. It beats Bassey. I think it's Anderson who's about to tap it in to the back of net. But who has filtered into the back line to make it a 5? Who's there to intercept? Who's there to stop this from being 1-1 after 8 minutes? Glenn frickin' Kamara. And you can see why he's been given that role to slot in there. Because if he hadn't done that, if Gio hadn't made that change, it's 1-1. But where Glenn Kamara was excellent defensively, Joe Aribo was just at a different level going forward. And again, that's where he's better. This holding midfield role for Joe Aribo and limiting him, handcuff him into a free-man midfield, ruined that lad and really held him back. But this freedom right here for him to be up close and to go wherever he wants to go, as forward as he wants to go, is sensational. And it is the old masterclass for Giovanni. But before we speak about Joe Aribo, Tavernier with a wonderful ball, weighted out. It's a complete switchy play. It drops right on the foot of Ryan Kent, whose first touches is always immaculate. And what I love about Ryan Kent as well, he's no cutting inside with the football. He's no recycling out today. This, like we were watching Sonic Pinball in the old Sega Mega Drive. Nah. He stays out wide. He's got two men that needs to then come out. People, instead of needing to run in and then they can park the bus, no, they need to come out to him. And because he's got two men on him the entire game, because he's standing out there, that creates a gap, and Morelos fills that gap with a wee outside of the fit pass to Joe Aribo. And then, to be fair, everything I've explained so far, this goal right here is just absolutely immaculate by Joe Aribo on the old George Alberts, the left foot. Curls it, bread basket, ting ting, it's 2-0 to Rangers, and Mr. Fita Bix himself is showing just how good he actually is. Now, to anyone who was watching the game live, or maybe you missed the game live because of work commitments or anything like that, so you've came here to watch today's video, that's 16 minutes now on the clock. Life couldn't be any better away at the Tony Macaroni. You genuinely can't ask for much more for your team to break down this team so consistently and put 2 goals by them. But where it looked as if we were maybe going to start to run away from it, because over the next 10 minutes there was some wonderful play. I mean, Hadji was excellent. He maybe not grab any highlights or headlines in this game, but for me, he was positive. Did he sometimes misplace a pass or give the ball away? Aye, but at least he's always trying, he's always buzzing, and he hates going sideways, people. He always likes to try and make things happen. So you're just waiting for that third goal, you're waiting for the third goal, but it didn't come, people, and it's very frustrating. The next goal did actually come for Livingston, especially when it's such a, I don't know how to put this, crap goal to concede. It's just a long ball that beats Connor Goldson with Forrest. No that yin. The other yin, people. The brother of James Forrest, who isn't tall as wheel, by the way, who's just about the same height. And anyway, the ball beats Connor Goldson in the air, who, to be fair, has a very nice touch to bring the ball out of the air, if I'm being kind. And the shot is good. It's saved by Al McGregor's feet. But then the rebound, again, another rebound or deflection, falls right to the opposition, and Bruce Anderson ends up headering it. For me, you could maybe look at Calvin Bassey not being at the right place, goal side, blah, 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 maybe reacting quick enough, but that's harsh to me. I think big Connor Goldson needs to be dealing with that ball in the air, and when you make a save like Al McGregor did, it's just about where the ball falls and how your luck is. The luck was nowhere's. Bruce Anderson has a tap in, and then from nowhere, it's 2-1, and the game's perfectly balanced where exactly Livingston want it to be. On the edge. And because it was now on that edge, it started getting a little bit iffy back there, where again this Rangers defence doesn't have a lot of confidence. We know it's pretty much held together right now by Blue Tack, with obviously a left back at centre back, etc, etc. So they started to ask a couple of questions, and then in the 41st minute of this game of football, it's a cross from the right hand side. Scotty Arfield tries to head it out, but ends up heading it right to the back post. Connor Goldson gets beat in the inside. Again, it kind of just falls in. You could maybe look at it as being unlucky, or you maybe look at it as a mistake anyway. From the deflection on Arfield's header, it drops right to the Livingston boy at the back post, who gets contact on it. You're thinking, how's this 2-2? But somehow, some way, big Alan McGregor gets his shagger paw on it to hit it air the bar. Frightening reflexes. It wasn't quite Werder Bremen-esque, but it was almost, or at least in the same category in terms of reactions and getting across, especially when you consider the man's age. That was the McGregor moment this team needed in a very, very difficult venue, and that led us into half-time, where first 25 minutes of this game we're thinking it's a cricket score, a 4 or a 5. Well, We then go into half-time, where it probably should have been 2-2 if it wasn't for the wonder save of Alan McGregor. Now, before we dive into the second half action, I do want to talk about a couple of things. The first one being, we are extremely lucky that Ryan Kent has that mad golf strength, people, because this was another game of football fresh back from his injury where he was kicked every single time he touched that football, whether it was his left ankle, his right ankle, his knees. He was getting tripped up, he was pulled back, he was kicked from pillar to post, and every single time that mad golf strength just gave him the ability to bounce back up. That's right, he's not got blood going through the veins. Nah. It is monster, people, and he showed that. So I just wanted to mention that. I absolutely love that laddie, and that's why he's always on the frickin' wall. Is he on the wall? He is on the wall, that's good. But eventually when the snow was wiped off, the game then continued, and it was pretty much domination from there. I think Livingston had their 10-minute spell, or 5-minute spell if you want to look at it that way, where they did cause a couple of problems, because the second half, I don't know whatever Giovanni said to them, but it was just controlled, dominant. Again, it wasn't a perfect overall performance, but you've got to put it into the context, say how long he's actually been here, etc, etc. So for me, we went about our business. Hadji had a couple of nearlies. He had a Rabona attempt that just went over the bar. He had a kind of sweeping volley that was very, very well saved by the Livingston goalkeeper, who had yet another game. Then he kept it from being a cricket score over the next 10-15 minutes, where Joe Aribo burst into the box with a brilliant effort after spinning someone. Again, the goalie was there. And then 5 minutes after that, the ball goes down the right-hand side. It finds our boy Hadji, who picks out Scotty Arfield. But unfortunately for Mr. Salute, it's ballooned at the bar. But from that balloon right to the 72nd minute, with that 8-minute spell, the game just threatened to die out a little bit. Started to get a little bit too passive. So thankfully Giovanni actually reacted quickly to it, because the second it did start to change, and it did starting to get a little bit of a slump, he made some changes. He brought Ryan Kent off. Again, he was kicked for pillar to post, and again he is just back from a serious injury after playing just a couple of days ago. So that's good management for me, no running the laddie into the grunt. And he was replaced by the man by the name of Fashion Sakala, who not only has the best song in football, but he also has just the best frickin' smile. And I don't know about you, but whenever I see that laddie, it just perks my mood up, because he just has this energy, just has this way about him that you just look, and no matter how you're feeling, you'll just kind of smile. And him doing his like wee stretches and everything like that, and then the song erupted through the crowd. When he started to smile, I started to smile. Can you imagine what he does for that dressing room and what kind of character he actually is? Probably vital, people, and I can't wait to see what this man is able to do as this season goes on. But again, he got subbed on the left-hand side, and his pace was matched by Patterson's pace, who also came down the right-hand side. And for me, it makes sense sub-wise, and it just made perfect sense for the game. And Sakala right away started to go at it, man. He was involved right away. Not only was his song just erupting through the stadium, but Rangers started to add a wee bit of spice to their play again. Now the right hand side with Alfredo Morelos, who didn't have his best game overall, by the way, but he was still plodding along, and he was still trying at this point. He gets down the right hand side, whips in a brilliant low driven ball, and Sakala actually gets there. But this is one of these times you just have to hold your hand up and say, Nicky Devlin, fair play. That right there is absolutely incredible defending, because I don't know how he gets there, how he stops that, but aye, fair play, annoyingly. But where Sakala came close and was halted by incredible defending just a couple of minutes later from a Tavernier set piece, he drops it right in the 6-yard box. The goalkeeper Disney come for it, and Fashion Sakala rises like a Connor salmon and buries it into the back of net. And that was game, set and match. I love that the laddie got the goal, and I think we need to start talking more about Fashion Sakala and what this player is actually doing so far, because now that is 10 appearances, 5 goals, 1 assist, and he's averaging a goal or an assist every 67 minutes he's on the park. Let's talk about Fashion Sakala and how good he actually is. That was in the Premiership, by the way. You know, the bread and butter, the thing that matters to us the most, league football. Sakala is delivering. But before we do go ahead and wrap up today's video, there is one last thing that I want to briefly mention, because anyone who's watched this channel for a wee while knows that this moment meant a lot to me. Not only seeing Jermaine Defoe back on the bench, but the fact that that laddie eventually got on the park after lining up in the 84th minute to be subbed on. He got subbed on in the 91st, people, which probably is my luck at the minute, but still seeing the laddie back on and seeing how it ended the game. 100% passing accuracy, 100% dribbling success and 100% shooting accuracy shows the laddie's still got it, and for me, he's my man of the match. But I know that you've officially heard my say on today's video. I want to know about you. Who's watching today's video? Get involved down there in the comment section below. Let me know how you're feeling. Are you happy? Are you sad? Who impressed you? What you're thinking about Giovanni's tweaks and changes as it evolves. Again, it's not just about me. It's never about me on this channel. So get involved and interact with the nation. And we should hopefully go on ahead and do that. We're bringing it back. People at CJNovo992 on Twitter, we are bringing back the live reaction, so make sure to be following if you want to get involved. If I didn't come up on your Twitter, by the way, because it's still broken, you have to clear your cache. It's a full thing, but we move, people. The next one up, or the first one up, I should say, is Jake writes in, I'm waiting to see 3/4 of this video be about Jermaine Defoe. Yes, Jake, and what of it? I don't like your attitude, Jake. I don't like it. Like son. Peter Ramsey racing, great start than the usual. Let Livy back into the game. Goldson needs to wake up. We won't get away with this on Wednesday. And I think that's fair, Peter. But again, I thought Goldson was brilliant on Thursday night. Iffy in this one. Let's see how he bounces back. It's not as if he's been terrible all the 2 games for Giovanni. I think he was very good on Thursday night. Mr. Loyal Hadji writes in, great performance today. CJ scored some brilliant goals. Kamara, man of the match for me. He was superb and we bossed most of the game. Sloppy goal to give away. Other than that though, job done. Gio ball is amazing. Yes. Yes, it is. Jamie writes in, bit shaky at the back on a couple of occasions, but overall very happy. Livingston played really well, but we were still a class or 2 above them. The next one in comes from Roscoe, and it's a Neil Lennon video. So this makes me nervous, but we'll play it. Let's see what it's like.
This is caviar, Jules.
I can't explain to you the tension on the anus as I played that video there. I thought I'd have to edit all this out, but we move on. He was right, Neil Lennon. Remember when they used to call him Neil Francis Lennon when he was winning all the time, but as soon as he started to lose, they just chucked the Francis out. It's funny that, eh? But anyway, Thomas McGill writes in, very good performance. Kent had a phenomenal game. Like seeing Arfield and Hadji on together. Curry writes in, good solid win. Fantastic aribo goal. Bassey solid and linking well with BB. McGregor is the man of the match for me. Absolutely, mate. I think I've spoke a lot about him. I'll probably have to edit some bits out because I spoke about him for a long time. But we move, people. The next one comes in from Tam. I mean, that's it. Didn't even need anything more. Tam, you've nailed it, son. Absolutely nailed it. Gio Van Aren. Nice. Right, an overall good performance in Gio Ball is in full swing. And the last 2 or 3 that we'll read out, scroll nearer to the bottom to give everyone a chance. Stop there, and it comes from Ross French. He writes that Alfie back to playing the false 9 role today was hardly in the box. And I agree with that, but I imagine there's a lot of muscle memory for the laddie now as well. It'll take a little bit later than 1 game to fix our boy Alfredo Morelos. And the last one we're going to read out comes from, we'll scroll all the way down here, we'll stop it right here, and it comes from Gio Van Sunis, and he writes in,
dirty. That's dirty.
Well, it is, but in the best way possible, like all things good in life. I don't know where I'm going with that, people, but that is the end of today's video. If you haven't done so already, you know what to do by now. Get involved in the comment section below, and if you don't mind hitting the like button and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy it, that would be greatly appreciated as we try and push for 56k. But until next time, I've been CJNovo992. That has been a Rocky Boy Johnson who wants to go his walks. So I better wrap up today's video by saying take care of yourselves, everyone. All the best, and bye-bye.